What's up YouTube, this is Tien, bringing you an Atlas strategy video for 3.15 Expedition League. They haven't teased too much information on the Atlas going into the league. If you guys are new to my content, what I do is I post one before the league starts, and then I'll post one kind of 1 or 2 weeks afterwards once we see what the Atlas is like, once we see what the mechanic is like. But I did want to talk about kind of early league strategies. It's something that most of my videos are focused on once you've gotten all of your Atlas completion bonus, all of your Maven invitation points, your Uncharted Realms figured out. But maybe it's early league, maybe you don't want to go through the whole Atlas strategy grind. So point for point, what are the best 4 points in each region? And you can get basically your first 2 Maven invitations with only 1 Watchstone in the region. And so I just want to talk about that. Maybe you just want some early league currency generation. And so without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Other content I will be covering will be the Xana map device mods and Horizon Orb usage. I think there's a couple clever ways to use your Horizon Orbs this league. But let's get into kind of the points that I think are the best in each region if you only could spend 4 points. So Hayward Hamlet, the ritual ones are quite good. Even early league, ritual is a good source of uniques, raw currency. It's just a strong mechanic in general. Later on, when you get it in the map device, this combination in particular, once you get your Watchstones working with ritual as well, can be very, very lucrative. Maybe the strongest mechanic in the game in terms of like currency per hour type thing, if you're into that. Tyrann's End. If I only had 4 points, I would pick the invasion bosses. I think you could also pick the abyss nodes, especially the one that gives your abyssal depths the chance for +3 monster level. But that isn't that useful if you plan on stopping at like, tier 7, tier 8 kind of thing, because the +3 abyss node gets really powerful when it's basically an eye level 82 plus map, because then you can get eye level 86 Digi Invites. So if I could only spend 4 points and I wanted to do some early league Atlas farming, I would choose the invasion bosses, which are a good source of like 6 links, uncorrupted 6 links, raw currency. We played around a lot with this last league. We even picked Watchstones that were related to invasion bosses, and it was quite strong. Lex Proxima, objectively, I think the harvest nodes are stronger, especially late game, but early league. Breach, I think, will be really powerful. You could choose the nodes here in Lex Prox or also in Lyra or Thane if you just wanted to do a couple fast ways to get breaches. I think breaches early league, the breach uniques are very strong. Zoph's Amulet, the Tool Amulet, the shield, the Surrender Shield. There's a lot of good items from breach, and it'll be really highly sought after in a world with people doing less single target damage, which I think will be happening in this patch. Killing those breach lords if you have a build that can do it, farming breach, or even selling the splinters to the people that can do that content could be quite strong. Lexajoris, the Delirium nodes, if I could only spend 4 points, it would be the Delirium nodes. The extra layers of Delirium, this will be especially powerful once you've unlocked kind of all 32 Watchstones and you can choose Delirium on the map device. But it's still strong even in, early league type stuff, getting those early cluster jewels. Sometimes the lower level cluster jewels can be good. Just for rolling, certain skills and things like that. And some of the base cluster jewels will just sell for a lot. So getting Delirium, getting cluster jewels will be good for Lexajoris. Glenn, I have highlighted here that I chose Legion. After thinking back on it, probably the Strongboxes would be a stronger choice here. And I do want to mention that Channel will be a tier 1 map, which will be in one of these 4 inner regions. If Channel in combination with the Strongboxes or in Glennock Cairns, I would definitely choose the Strongboxes there. Why Channel is important is because it drops the Humility div card. Early league tabulas sell for a ton of currency. So if you're one of the first people to maps and you're just jamming Channel maps and it happens to be in Glen, that would be a good combo to do. But, couldn't fault you for taking any of the Legion nodes. Those are especially strong. Valdo's Rest, I still like the Diplomatic Escort. I know they're going to nerf the King Harpies. This is actually the only Atlas passive on the tree that got nerfed, but chances are it's still going to be strong. I wouldn't fault you for taking the Metamorph or even the Betrayal ones. I think the Metamorph ones could be good. Again, it's going to be something that's present on the map device and also kind of early, depending on how many Watchstones you do get. The combination of forcing Metamorph onto your map and getting guaranteed organs, double organs, will be pretty good in Valdo's Rest. Lyra or Thane, I already mentioned the the breach stuff, but you could definitely do heist. Selling contracts or selling blueprints in bulk is really good for Lyra or Thane. New Vistir. I'm kind of a sucker for the Rogue Exile one. We went really hard on Rogue Exiles last league with like possessed Rogue Exiles, but that's only something you could do once you get Watchstones in kind of late league. But early league, the Legion nodes are still great. There's another 2-pointer here, depending on how many Watchstones you have in the region and how many invitations you've done. So those are kind of my early league strategies. Like I said, if you only want to put 2 Watchstones in the region, maybe you only want to farm yellow tier maps because your build is a lot weaker than you remember it or something like that. Consider doing that instead of trying to like push yourself into higher content. Just stay in those like mid-tier maps. Do a tier 8 channel map until you farm up a whole bunch of currency, make your character more powerful, and then consider doing the Atlas grind all the way to 164 out of 164. If you guys are interested, again, in kind of what my endgame Atlas will look like, look for that Atlas strategy update that I'll put out, a week or 2 after this video. So Horizon Orb usage, I think there's 2 tiers of maps that are correct to use your Horizon Orb on. Tier 7 only has 2 maps, and one of those is port. Tier 7 ports are really good. What do I mean by like natural tier 7? So if you get a tier 7 map that was basically not port, you can use a Horizon Orb on it, and 50% of the time it's going to be port. If not, it'll become the other map, and then you have a 100% chance to turn it into port. So on average, it takes like 1.5 Horizon Orbs to make a tier 7 port map. Depending on which region it is, combine it with a good league mechanic that can drop you a lot of Saints treasures or the fusing div card. Tier 7 ports are going to be great, especially early league. Late league, tier 16s, Underground Sea and Crystal Ore are 2 out of the 4 maps that you can Horizon into at tier 16. I think that's a great use of Horizon Orbs. Underground Sea and Crystal Ore are just great maps, large, dense maps with good map returns. I know people are going to be struggling with map sustain. It's one of the questions I always get. So those 2 maps in particular, especially if you're doing T16s, are going to be pretty good. Depending on which region they're in, pick these points, these Atlas passives that will combine with them, give them more monsters. You can't go wrong with kind of any of them. Some of them are better than others. If you want to look at some of my previous videos, I kind of stand by a lot of that stuff that I said. Depending on how good Expedition is in terms of content, maybe we won't be spending too much time on our Atlas. Maybe we'll be doing a lot of expeditions and doing more side content. So anyways, that's it for this Atlas strategy video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and good luck in the Expedition League. See you in the next video.